Welcome back. The race for the White House. A new poll shows Trump leading by 13 points among Catholics. Joining us right now is Fox News religion contributor, Father Jonathan Morris. Father Jonathan, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So Trump with a significant lead here. Why is he appealing to Catholic voters?
You know, it's very strange because Catholics went for Democrats in the last two elections. And really, they've polled just basically like general election, you know, like everyone in the United States. They pretty much match the general electorate. In this poll, if it's true, that is huge for Trump. Why? Because it means that there's a significant change from the last two elections. And we'll see if the poll is accurate or not.
Yeah, I mean, Trump and Clinton are also working for the Hispanic vote, obviously, 2 days until the election. Listen to this.
Folks living in the inner cities, crime-ridden, you can't walk to the store and buy a loaf of bread, you get shot. The education is the worst, and there's no jobs. And I say to the Hispanic community living in the inner city, to the African-American community, I say, what the hell do you have to lose?
Imagine it's Donald Trump standing in front of the Capitol. And we already know a lot about him. Someone who demeans women, mocks people with disabilities, insults African Americans and Latinos.
335,000 more Hispanics have already voted in the crucial state of Florida than they did in 2008. Father Jonathan, you speak Spanish fluently. You say regularly the entire Mass in Spanish. So someone with a large population of Hispanic parishioners, what do you say to those parishioners?
Well, I think we have to distinguish. In Florida, there's a lot of Cubans, right? And that's a very different voting bloc than, for example, Mexicans, Central Americans, South Americans, that, for example, that would be in my parish in New York City. Many of those who are coming over from the border in Mexico, et cetera, they're worried about Donald Trump. The name Donald Trump does not go over very well in my parish, I guarantee you, except by those who have been here for a long time, who have become legal, and they're saying we've tried with Bill Clinton, we've tried with President Obama, and they haven't done anything.
So you're saying the illegals don't like them?
You know what? I think in many cases, people who have been here in this country for a long time have been fed up with both parties. But those who are just brand new to this country are saying, Donald Trump, you know, he's bad, he hates us. Right. Those who have been here for a long time go, wait, hold on. I'm not so sure that the Democrats have been very supportive of Hispanics either.
Father, do you think the WikiLeaks stuff that came out related to the Catholic Church is hurting Secretary Clinton, or do you think that the parishioners in your church are unaware of the way she feels, or what's your thought on that?
You know, I think what we could call practicing Catholics or church-going Catholics really have very similar values to church-going evangelicals when it comes to the voting booth. In this case, they haven't liked Hillary Clinton for a long time, many of them. Right? Many of them, not all of them, but many of them. Why? Because of her stance on abortion. When she stood up on the debate stage and defended late-term abortion just with coldness like that, they're like, this is not our candidate. But the problem is Donald Trump has given so many church-going Catholics, Christians, and reason to say, hey, we don't like her, but gosh, what is he going to do?
Because of what he said.
Because what he says and what he's done. Yeah. It's like there's a threshold there, and he's been pushing that threshold for a very long time, in which they say, oh, who are we going to vote for?
Yeah. How do you feel about the lack of focus on faith during this presidential campaign?
I'm very glad neither of them are talking about faith.
Really?
Very happy, because we know that neither of them are really regular church-going people. I'm not judging what their beliefs are, but we don't want Hillary Clinton to be getting up there and giving a Jesus loves you speech, or Donald Trump to be giving you a Jesus loves you speech, because that hasn't been a part of their lives.
The evangelical community has come out for Mr. Trump. Why do you think
Because they don't like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Very simply.
Do you think there are going to be fewer people voting at all that you've seen?
I don't know. Who understands this election? But you know what? I know there's a lot of people who are saying, hey, I cannot vote for Hillary Clinton because of my values, and gosh, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump, but he might be better.
It might also be Obama's legacy, because let's look at this Syrian refugee story. The U.S. has accepted almost 11,000 Syrian refugees, okay? Out of the 11,000, only 56 of them are Christian. Not 56%. That's 56 people of the 10,801, that is 1/2 of 1%. Why is that? Why are all the refugees Muslim and not Christian?
You know,
such a small percentage are Christian.
I hope there's no, untoward, purpose, intent behind it. But what I think that the United States could do, if they're so interested in doing it quickly, I don't think there should be a religious test, but if they're so interested in doing it quickly because these people are running for their lives, well, then somebody who has been a practicing Christian in Syria for many years, you can be sure that they're not radical Islamists.
Yeah.
Let them in. If you're worried about making sure that things are quick, well, then this would be a great, great test. Not because we want a religious test, but because it's practical.
Yeah. What do you think's behind that?
Last year was a record year for the persecution of Christians around the world. Remember, we've talked about that.
Oh, and if we think that we've got religious liberty issues in this country, and I think we do, when we look around the world and we see what's going on in the Middle East, we should thank God for the freedoms that we do have. As bad as things are in this election cycle, in my opinion, we have to be very grateful that we do have the freedoms that we have.
Father, before you go, did you bring any communion wafers? Because I can skip mass later. If no, okay, just asking. All right, sorry.
I'm not Catholic church this morning.
Maybe I could.
You're leaving me out.
The 11 o'clock mass, but you said no.
I'm not allowed to take communion.
Today.
I mean, I am just not in the Catholic Church, unfortunately.
Do you want to hear my confession after this?
Oh, why don't we do it right now? That would be much more interesting.
Because your dad's on soundstage. So what is in that apartment, Kat? Go ahead. You got your priest right here. Let us know.
Give us your confession.
Like, oh my gosh, where did this go?
Father
You brought it up.
Great
You
to
brought
see
it
you.
up.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
My
Father
pleasure.
Jonathan Morris
Happy
there.
Blessed Sunday, and we got to give each other a big hug at the end of this election, right?
Amen.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Look forward to
Hugs to
Everyone.
our viewers, too.